Once upon a time, in the verdant lands of the Yoruba kingdom of Morayo, there reigned a king as beloved as the sun is cherished for its warmth. King Adewale, known for his wisdom and just heart, nurtured his kingdom into an era of abundance and harmony. But beneath this tranquility lurked a shadow, a threat that would test the very soul of Morayo. As night cloaked the kingdom in its starlit embrace, the dreaded Ajogun emerged from the unseen crevices of the world. These creatures, born from the darkest depths of chaos, were nightmares made flesh. With eyes glowing like embers of malice and forms twisted in shapes of terror, they descended upon Morayo. Their arrival was always heralded by a chilling wind, a whisper of impending doom. The Ajogun, seeking not just to conquer but to devour the essence of life, unleashed their fury upon the land. They rampaged through villages, their touch withering crops and poisoning wells. Laughter and joy were replaced by cries of despair as they snatched away the innocent, the children, who in their purity were most vulnerable to the Ajogun's corruption. King Adewale, witnessing the suffering of his people, felt a despair that gripped his heart like iron claws. Determined to end this reign of terror, he sought the ancient wisdom of the Irumoles. These celestial beings, cloaked in the mysteries of the universe, answered his plea with the gift of the pendant of Agbara, an amulet of immense power, radiant as the first light of dawn. With the pendant of Agbara around his neck, King Adewale became a beacon of hope. He confronted the Ajogun, the pendant shining brightly against the darkness. With its power he summoned the fury of the winds and the might of the waters. Each wave and gust fought alongside the king, driving back the Ajogun, who recoiled from the elemental assault, their shadows scattering like mist in the morning sun. Though peace returned, King Adewale knew the danger the pendant posed if wielded by hands less pure than his own. On his deathbed he decreed, "This power shall only awaken in the hands of one truly worthy in our land's gravest hour." With these final words, the light of the pendant of Agbara dimmed, its power sleeping, waiting for the time when Morayo would need its protection once more. Many years had passed since the reign of King Adewale, and the kingdom of Morayo flourished in an enduring era of peace. The pendant of Agbara, once a symbol of salvation against the dark forces of the Ajogun, lay dormant in the royal vault, its history interwoven with the kingdom's legacy, remembered in tales and legends passed down through generations. Centuries after, the throne was now held by King Adedeo, a descendant of the same noble lineage but many generations removed from King Adewale. King Adedeo reigned with a wisdom and kindness that endeared him to his people. Yet beneath his calm demeanour, a sense of foreboding stirred. Rumours had reached the king of the Ajogun, fearsome agents of chaos, gathering in the dense forests bordering the kingdom. King Adedeo, ever vigilant, decided to confront this growing threat head-on. He rallied his warriors, leading them alongside his sons, Prince Adekunle and Prince Ademola, to strike at the heart of the looming darkness. The king understood that waiting for the Ajogun to strike first would mean putting his beloved kingdom at grave risk. As they marched to the shadowed woods, the air was tense with the anticipation of battle. King Adedeo, a battle-hardened leader, led the charge, his sons at his side. The confrontation with the Ajogun was fierce, a brutal clash of steel and dark magic. Despite their bravery and skill, the relentless nature of the Ajogun proved overwhelming. In the midst of this chaos, tragedy struck. Both King Adedeo and Prince Ademola fell, their valour a sombre echo in the hearts of their people. Meanwhile, in the palace of Morayo, Princess Adeshewa, the youngest of King Adedayo's children, lived a life far removed from the battlefield. Her sanctuary was the royal vault, a treasure trove of ancient knowledge and relics. Adeshewa was not a warrior like her brothers. Her battles were fought within the pages of history, her adventures woven through the legends she cherished. Adeshewa's love for these ancient tales was a melody that played softly through the corridors of the palace. She was a figure of quiet strength and introspection, her eyes alight with the wisdom of the past. One day, a weary messenger arrived, seeking an audience with the princess. In the tranquility of the royal gardens, he delivered his grim tidings. Princess Adeshewa, his voice shook as he spoke. "The battlefield has claimed a heavy toll. Prince Ademola is no more, and Prince Adekunle lies gravely wounded. The Ajogun's might is unyielding." The word struck Adeshewa like a cold wave, first her father and now her brother. the very pillars of her world torn away by war's cruel hand. "No, this cannot be our fate," she murmured, a resolve igniting within her. Driven by grief and determination, Adesha ventured to the royal vault. Her target was clear: the pendant of Agbara, a legacy of power and protection. She reached for the pendant, feeling its cold weight, yet it remained silent, its secrets locked away. Refusing to succumb to despair, Adesha donned armor and hastened to the battlefield. Her arrival stirred a mix of awe and concern among the soldiers. "Princess, this is no place for you," a soldier exclaimed. But Adesha stood firm, her voice resolute. "I will not watch from afar as our kingdom falls. I am the daughter of Morayo, and I will fight." As the battle raged, Adesha confronted an Ajogun, its monstrous form a nightmare brought to life. The creature struck with ferocious might, sending her reeling across the field. The soldiers around her gasped in horror, fearing the worst. Adesha lay motionless, her fate seemingly sealed. But then, a faint glimmer began to emanate from the pendant around her neck. At first it was a mere flicker, almost unnoticed amidst the turmoil of battle. Gradually the glow intensified, casting a radiant light that caught the attention of friend and foe alike. Suddenly, with a burst of brilliant light that pierced the gloom of war, Adesha was lifted into the air by an unseen force. The winds themselves seemed to cradle her, raising her up as if she were as light as a feather. The eyes of every warrior on the field turned towards this miraculous sight. As she hovered in the air, Adesha's eyes snapped open. A striking, blinding light emanated from them, a manifestation of the ancient power that now coursed through her. She raised her hand, and in response the elements of wind and water stirred. The very air around her swirled with energy, and the nearby waters responded to her unspoken command. Then, with a voice that resonated with the power of the elements, Adesha spoke. Her words were carried by the wind, echoing across the battlefield with authority and might.
"By the ancient power of Agbara, peace be unto this land. By the ancient power of Agbara, peace be unto this land."
The Ajogun, stunned and overwhelmed by this show of power, found themselves unable to stand against the elemental fury unleashed by Adesha. The winds howled and the waters surged, driving back the darkness that had threatened Morayo. Lowered gently back to the ground by the winds, Adesha stood tall amidst the awestruck soldiers, a warrior reborn. In her eyes burned the light of a fierce spirit, and around her the once dormant pendant of Agbara shone with a steady, unwavering light. After the storm had passed and peace reigned once more over Morayo, a momentous occasion unfolded within the kingdom. In a grand assembly that brought together all from near and far, Prince Adekunle, King Adale's son and a valiant warrior, made a surprising offer to his sister, Princess Adesha. In a gesture of profound respect and acknowledgement of her bravery and wisdom, he offered her the throne, suggesting that she lead Morayo as its queen. The people waited with bated breath, their eyes fixed on Princess Adesha, the hero who had risen in their darkest hour. Yet, to the surprise of the assembly, Adesha graciously declined the offer. Her voice resonated with conviction as she addressed the gathered crowd.
"My beloved people, my heart is filled with gratitude for this honor. However, I believe my destiny lies not on the throne, but in the heart of our kingdom, with our future, our children. I wish to establish a school, a place where the young minds of Morayo can learn about our rich history, the tales of our ancestors, and the legacy of the pendant of Agbara. It is in the sharing of our stories and wisdom that our true strength lies."
The kingdom rejoiced in her decision, recognizing that in Adesha's choice lay a deeper understanding of leadership and legacy. Princess Adesha's school became a beacon of knowledge and heritage, nurturing the minds and spirits of Morayo's children. The loss of King Adale and Prince Ademola was mourned, but their memory lived on, inspiring the kingdom to face adversity with courage. The pendant of Agbara, having served its purpose, returned to its dormant state, a symbol of the power that lay within every heart, waiting for the right moment to awaken. The story of Princess Adesha, King Adale, and the pendant of Agbara became a timeless lesson for the people of Morayo. It taught them that heroism comes in many forms, and that true strength lies in the courage to make choices that uplift others. It reminded them that in every one of us there resides a hero, waiting for the moment to rise and shine. This enduring message, passed down through generations, continued to inspire and guide the people of Morayo as they looked towards a future filled with hope and boundless possibilities.